app on your mobile device if you want to be able to listen to this. Going to be doing a lot of driving. Some of you guys already driving to your Thanksgiving destinations. You can listen right here on the radio. Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. If you download the app, Centex Sports One app, you can download that and be able to listen to this weekdays 5 to 7 p.m. We're also going to do a Black Friday episode. I'm going to try to call a couple of people, see if they can call in and, chop it up with us. Black Friday, everybody will be sitting at home when you guys are done shopping. We'll talk about some more of these sports. We'll talk about the Thanksgiving games that happen, and we'll lead you into the final weekend of regular season college football. It's coming up this weekend. So we got a lot to talk about here today. As always, want to thank you guys for joining in with us here today on Centex Primetime. Joining me in studio today, I have the Waco ISD Hall of Famer, Mr. Wayne Walker, in studio with us. Wayne, what's going on?
Hey.
Yes,
Good
sir.
afternoon, everyone. Happy holidays. Happy
Definitely.
to all.
It is the holidays. It's Thanksgiving. I see people already got their Christmas stuff up. Don't nobody want to decorate for Thanksgiving. They just go straight to putting their Christmas decorations up year in and year out. We'll have PJ calling in with us today on the show as well. And like I said, a lot to talk about in the sports world. We've got NBA going on. We got the NFL is obviously in full effect as the Thanksgiving games tomorrow. We got the Bears and the Lions to start it off. Cowboys and Giants. I know all you guys will be watching that 3 o'clock game. Cowboys and Giants game starting at 3:30, I believe, and they'll end the night. They'll end that night with the Dolphins, I believe, taking on. I'm trying to remember who the Dolphins are playing. It was a game that I was like, man, Green Bay. That's who it is. Dolphins and Green Bay playing in the night game. So hopefully get a couple fireworks from those games in the night game. We've got, like I said, NBA season is in full effect right now. I watched my Rockets get another win last night in the NBA Cup, 3-0 so far in the NBA Cup, sitting in third place, I believe, in the West right now. Rockets looking like they might be able to do a little something this year. We've got college basketball has just tipped off. I'm a fan of college basketball. I got to watch Cooper Flag last night that everybody's been talking about. There's been I don't want to say hyping up because he's still a young kid, but hyping up. Everybody's saying he's the number one pick for sure, no matter what. Wanted to see him do a little bit more last night. They had a tough game that they played last night on primetime television. I think they ended up losing that game too as well. But Cooper Flag, he's going to be all right. The dude can definitely hoop. He had some flashes in that game and had some moments where he looked really good in that game. I watched some girls college basketball as well too. Big fan of women's college basketball. I've said it on the show before. Juju Watkins is my favorite player to watch in women's college basketball right now. But I got a chance to watch them play Notre Dame the other day, and Notre Dame got a couple of guards, and I'm like, man, hold on, I might have to do a little research and see what's going on here. They got a couple guards that can hoop on Notre Dame. They were actually giving USC the business that whole game that I watched. I think they both ended up with 25 apiece. So I was like, okay, they got some hoopers out there in Notre Dame too. But we got a lot of sports going on right now. It's really a great time of year. The holidays are rolling around. College football getting ready to go into bowl season. The college football playoffs. I mean, it's just a lot going on. Plus the time that everybody gets to spend with their families and whatnot. But today, got to start with the college football playoff ranking that comes out every Tuesday as well. Got PJ Gaither calling in with us today as well, joining on the show with us. PJ, what's going on?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. But like I said, we're getting ready to start. We'll start right here with these college football playoff rankings, and they come out every single Tuesday. They put out these rankings. This week, of course, we talk about, Wayne, every week how tough of a job that these guys have, but this week they really had their work cut out for them, as we've seen multiple teams lose last weekend and what was an upset weekend almost in college football. We saw Ole Miss, who was right there after they beat Alabama, and they were right up there, or after they beat Georgia, they were right up there in the top, and everybody had them as a team that can make it. They lost. That kind of made them fall out of the rankings pretty much of graces in this college football rankings. They dropped to number 14. We saw Alabama get blown out by Oklahoma, something that I didn't even bet on that game, but I thought that would have been for sure money if I did put a bet in on that game, betting against Oklahoma the way the Oklahomas looked this year. And they got manhandled by Oklahoma in that game at home too. That makes it even worse. They got manhandled at home, taking on the Oklahoma Sooners to get and against Ohio State. Just too much to handle. But Indiana drops back to number 10 and stays in the rankings, which I was wondering what they were going to decide to do since Indiana has honestly played such a cupcake schedule. Honestly, Ohio State and Oregon. The only two that I see that have played are just a crazy good. Honestly, Ohio State and Oregon. The only two that I see that have played are just a crazy good schedule, or a decent schedule like that. Everybody else in the Big Ten has played especially if we're comparing it to the other super conference in the SEC, which is just a complete gauntlet. So the new rankings, Texas jumps back up to number 3. Oregon, Ohio State stay at number 1 and 2. Penn State still at number 4. Notre Dame goes up a spot, another team that, I've talked about on the show multiple times, not too sold on, but they jump up to number 5 now as they're 10-1 on the season. Miami, who got that loss that everybody kind of thought, man, that might kind of drop them out, they move all the way up to number 6. Georgia moves into the number 7 spot after they got 2 losses, and everybody said, man, we don't know where they're going to stick Georgia, if they're going to be able to get back in there. Georgia is sitting right now as the second highest ranked SEC team in this college football playoff ranking. Then we got Tennessee right behind them at number 8. SMU finally cracks the top 12, and they jump all the way up to number 9. They went from number 13 to number 9 in this. They hop over Indiana, which I think is probably deserving. I think they've played a tougher schedule than Indiana. Boise State now moves up higher in the top 12. They're sitting at number 11. And to round it out, I didn't know who they were going to put at that 12 spot. They somehow put Clemson into that 12 spot, getting right in front of Alabama, who picked up their 3rd loss, right in front of Ole Miss, who picked up their 3rd loss at 14. And now at number 15, you got a South Carolina team that everybody forgot about because they picked up their 3 losses early in the season, and they've been playing really good football so far since they got those losses. They moved all the way up to 15 in the college football ranking. So a crazy list that they did this week, a lot of shifting around, probably the most shifting around that they've done since they started this college football playoff ranking. So, Wayne, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts on this new list of the college football playoff ranking?
Well, the college football playoffs is hard to predict. Man, like we say every week, that's a hard job. And I think they kind of got it right this time, though. I like it. Especially putting SMU in.
Yeah.
Shifting some teams out. The Big 12 doesn't have a representative in, but will only get one with their conference championship.
Mm-hmm. The automatic bid.
But I think they got it right. I think Georgia, deservingly so, belongs in that top 10.
Yeah.
Even though they have 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, the cream of the crop. And I think they got it. I think they got it right. I mean, it's a hard job, and most of these teams are hurting themselves because they're losing. We look for Colorado to jump up and probably would have been in there if they would have won.
Definitely.
Alabama would have stayed in if they win. Ole Miss, if they win, they're there. But it's hard to predict everything with these teams not handling their business and going out and like I say, taking care of their business on Saturday. So.
Yeah.
Man, that's a hard job, and I think they got it right. But it'll be a little bit more shifting this week.
Yeah.
Texas has a tough game this week with A&M. And whoever wins that game goes to the conference championship, the SEC championship. So, man, it's and like you say with Indiana and in the Big Ten, they got dominated. They got dominated defensive wise. Ohio State was able to do whatever they wanted to do, and on defense they totally dominated. I mean, I think they had not even 100 yards in the game, and this was supposed to be explosive offense that couldn't be stopped. They come out and get 7, and you didn't hear anything from them the rest of the game. But I think they got it right. We'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. The one thing consistent about the committee is that, week in and week out, you had Ohio State, Oregon, Texas right up there in that top 3. Like you say, Notre Dame, I don't think they belong. They kind of played a cupcake schedule. They played Army and won, which was a ranked team, but I don't see Army being a team
No.
from the Southeast Conference or the Big Ten. So they have to show me more. And I just think they deserve to be there, but I don't think they deserve to be that high.
Yeah, they're almost getting in for a bye at this point because I think the top 4 seeds are going to get bye weeks in the playoffs. They're right outside of contention to get a bye week. If anybody loses in that top 4, Notre Dame's going to be in there, and I don't think, like you said, they deserve to be in it. But to put them that high, I think they should be more like, honestly, where Boise State is, where Indiana is. Those teams are 10-1. Indiana's 10-1, but their one loss is to Ohio State, who's number 2. Notre Dame's one loss is to Northern Illinois, who's number 100 something. So I mean, it's tough being able to put them in there. I'm agreeing with you though. I think this is one of their better lists, and like I said, I think it's one of their harder lists that they've had to do. And I still think it's one of their better lists. I know that honestly, Clemson is probably going to fall out of that. Clemson's at number 12 right now in that ranking. But if everything stays as it is right now, Clemson's not going to get into the ACC championship.
Right.
So they're not going to pick up another loss. Alabama's probably not going to pick up another loss unless they go out there and lay an egg against Auburn like Texas A&M did, because A&M could have been in that number 12 spot that Clemson is in if A&M would have beat Auburn.
Right.
And A&M couldn't beat Auburn and lost in quadruple overtime.
They didn't handle their business.
No.
It was a few teams that could, control their own destination.
Colorado, one of them.
And they didn't go out and take care of business on Saturday.
No, they did not.
It's made it hard on the committee.
Mm-hmm.
It's made it hard on us when we predicted this year on Wednesdays and Mondays.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been a good football season, but a lot of teams not going out and handling their business, and
sure.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, and that's what's showing up here on the polls. The best thing I like is, like you said, they moved SMU. They finally put them in there. I mean, I don't know what we were waiting on, especially if you're gonna have Miami in there number 6. What were we waiting on all this time with SMU and how great they've been playing? They're 10-1.
And Jalen, I don't think Alabama's going to get in at all. I mean, I'm thinking 3 loss. I mean, the potential of a 3-loss team getting in is a little bit higher now because some of the teams. I mean, it's just been a season where you don't have 4 undefeated teams or 7. 10-1 teams so it's gonna be some teams in with 2 losses. And the potential for a team with 3 losses to get in. And
Clemson's sitting at that 12th spot right now, but we all know that once the playoffs actually start, one of those spots is gonna go to somebody in the Big 12 because the Power 4 conference gets an automatic bid.
Right.
And right now Arizona's sitting at number 16, so I see them trying to creep them in as being that team to take over who kind of came out of nowhere. We talked about them, weeks ago, saying how they got a path to be able to go there, and they've been taking care of business and getting there.
And the thing about it is, if you lose early in the season and you get hot at the end of the season, it benefits you more than losing at the end of the
South Carolina.
The year.
The same way. South Carolina's the same way. They've moved all the way up to number 15, and they picked up their 2 to 3 losses super early in the season. PJ, I want to let you get in on this, man. What do you think about this college football rankings and how they've put everybody in here? And then who are some of those teams you think need to be shifted around in this top 12?
Well, I'm agreeing with you. I feel like they got it right. I mean, it's probably some places that I probably disagree with, but I mean, it's a hard job to do. Definitely week to week, you're not gonna always get it right. You're always gonna have somebody who's probably gonna disagree with where somebody's ranked. Now, what I feel like that we all universally agree with is that Notre Dame, I don't really think they should be that high. I'm not going to say that I don't think they should be in the college football playoff, but at some point we got to start penalizing them for not having a conference championship game and not being in the conference. Because their one losses against NIU.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of other teams that possibly got 1 loss or maybe 2 losses, but their losses are better. Now, granted, 10-2 or 9-2 is always going to be worse than 10-1, but at the end of the day, we kind of gotta, we gotta keep it real. They're not playing. They're never playing the schedule that any of these other teams are playing. And I don't even know what their best win is. I think maybe Navy and Army probably.
I think that's their best wins. I don't think Louisville. I guess you could say but Louisville's not ranked anymore. They were ranked when they beat them, but A&M, I guess A&M is probably their best win.
Okay, A&M. I give them that one, but I mean, I don't know. But like I say, I'm not going to say I don't think that they deserve to be in the college football playoff, but I don't think they should be that high. Everyone else, I mean, they in the right places. You know, I'm happy to see SMU at number 9. You see my Longhorns, you know, still at number 3. And that's why I feel like we deserve to be at. I feel like the top 3 teams right now, they're like the cream of the crop. Every other team under, you know, is kind of, they're going to be really fighting for spots. I think they're top 3 if all 3 of those teams really continue to play out. I mean, Ohio State and Oregon is going to have to play each other eventually in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
So that's going to make a change too. But if Texas play their cards right and, you know, we go beat them Farmers down in College Station this weekend, then, then, you know, we might get up to number 2. I'm very excited to see that rivalry back. I haven't seen that rivalry, I think, since I was like maybe 13. Probably, yeah, 13.
Yeah, it's been over a decade since they've played, and Wayne, you've seen it firsthand how that rivalry is, and it's ignited again this weekend. I hate that A&M lost to Auburn, even though I'm not a fan of A&M at all. I hate that they lost to Auburn because this would have been for potentially the SEC championship, the game this weekend down there in College Station. Wayne, what do you think about the game coming up this weekend? We've been talking about it all year.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for the last month. I know these teams colliding, and the only thing that kind of hurt what we're talking about is A&M going out losing to Auburn, not taking care of their business. But it's still going to be a heated rivalry. It's always been that way. 2 teams from the Southwest Conference, the original Southwest Conference that hated each other, that still hates each other. So, hey, man, I'm going to be front and center in front of the television watching this one,
man.
You know, trying to see what's going to happen. I mean, fans hate each other, man, and all the talking and all of the predicting has begun. So, hey, we'll see. And with these rivalry games, anything can happen.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
I know.
Honestly.
I feel like Texas has the better team.
Oh, for sure.
And they have more to lose than A&M.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a rivalry game and a team that you hate, and me coming from Texas Tech, when we played Texas A&M or Texas, that was our rival.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those were the games that sell out. Those were the games that our fans get most excited about. So as a player, man, I mean, the adrenaline is flowing, and you hyped as well. So man, this Texas A&M Texas game, you know, I'm really rooting for Texas. You know, we got a couple of guys. PJ would understand because he's a Conley guy.
Yeah.
But those 2 guys down there, I'm rooting for those guys, and I want Texas to win. But it's gonna be a good game, and Texas just needs to go out and handle business.
Yeah, they got to take care of that business. I think they can't look, and I think that's what got A&M. We seen that coach slip up in the press conference and say, we're getting ready for Texas this week, and then say, oh, my bad, we're getting ready for Auburn this week, because obviously Texas has been on their mind for a couple of weeks, and you go down there into Auburn, and Nick Saban said it on College Game Day that place is haunted. You can't go in there thinking you just go come up and get a win, because it don't matter how bad the team is. They could be 3-8. They're going to show up and play again in those big games. A&M got caught up in those big games, so they got a huge one this weekend. PJ, I know you're going to be tuned in and watching that one, but it's a couple other games this weekend that I want to talk about before we get off of college football, because they're big ones. One of them, the early morning game, it's not really a big game, but it's just kind of a disappointing game because this could have been a big game. And Oklahoma State versus Colorado. Colorado had their destiny right there in their hands. You heard Coach Prime say it, said we had our future right there in our hands, and we fumbled it, which they did. They're pretty much out of it. They're out of a chance to make the college football playoffs, and they're out of a chance to make the Big 12 championship game. And they were right there. We saw a path open for them. I remember earlier in the year, me and you, Wayne, were on here with Rocky, and he said they had like a 20% chance or something to be able to make it to the Big 12 championship. And then they ended up getting a path to where they had at least 80-something% chance of being able to make it there. And you go out there and play against a Kansas team that rightfully so has beaten the top 3 teams in the Big 12. They beat BYU, they beat Iowa State, and now they beat Colorado 3 weeks in a row. So, yes, they're playing good football, but, man, you end up fumbling that game. What was your thoughts about Colorado not being able to come out with a win and pretty much eliminating their chances of getting into that college football playoffs?
Man, they reverted back to the Colorado of old.
Yeah.
They gave up over 300 yards rushing. You know that you're not going to beat anybody.
Anybody.
Because you're not going to be able to possess the ball enough.
Yeah.
If someone is running the ball on you, they they beating you up, and then they running down the clock, and they running it down your throats. So they reverted back to the old Colorado, to where they couldn't stop anybody on defense, and I think that's their problem. Their offense is going to always score and going to always be relevant because they got some explosive guys. They got probably the top quarterback in the upcoming draft.
Yeah.
Probably the top receiver, probably DB in the upcoming draft. So they're going to always be explosive and able to score. Their problem is always going to be defense.
Yeah.
And they reverted back, but man, they let a prime opportunity get away from them, where they could have, if they go out and take care of business. And I know it was preached to them because in all these teams that lost, hey man, let's take care of our business. The only thing you can worry about is the game that you're playing that Saturday, that day. You can't jump ahead and look at everything. And I know my boy Prime says, hey, you know, they start to smell, you know.
Yeah.
They start to smell themselves, man, and was listening to all the press clippings and they were feeling too good about themselves. And then that's what happens, man, if you don't go out and focus and concentrate and take care of your business.
No, for sure. And that's unfortunately what ended up happening. They pretty much knocked themselves out of it. They were right there in the race. They finally got a path, and they fumbled it, like Coach Prime said. PJ, we talked about it a little bit on Monday, but what's your thoughts about Colorado not being able to get into this playoffs now after having a path, pretty much a pathway opened up for them throughout this season?
Yeah, I mean, they really pretty much did the same thing that, you know, A&M did. They were really looking ahead. But I don't think they were looking ahead towards a certain opponent. They were just looking ahead as to, you know, possibly having a chance to get to the Big 12 championship game. They're going to need a lot of help this weekend, which is not going to happen.
Yeah, they need like 4 or 5 teams to lose.
Yeah, 3 top teams in the Big 12 to lose. So that's not going to happen. Not all in this week. You might have maybe 1 or 2 out of the 3 that might lose, but you know it's really unfortunate just because this team, they really showed a lot of improvement this year. And I mean, they still going to go to a bowl game, but they had a strong possibility of getting into the Big 12 championship game and getting to the college football playoff because you know the Power Four, they get an automatic bid to the playoffs.
Yeah, that was going to be their chance.
Yeah, so it's really unfortunate, but I mean, as long as they go into this game and just finish the season off strong, this is still going to be a very good season.
Oh yeah,
for a Colorado team that I don't think a lot of people really even thought they was going to win this many games. But it still kind of hurt a little bit, man, because you know we was really pushing for them guys to really win, and all they had to do was just. And I know it's not an easy task, but definitely with a Kansas team that's been hot as lately. But you got to win that game. Regardless of how hot they be, you got to win that game. And so, you know, they just have to finish off this season pretty strong and see what they're going to be playing in a bowl game.
Yeah, they'll still get a really good bowl game. They finished with 9 wins. You know, most people had them finishing. I think this team was predicted to finish 13th out of 16 teams, or 12th out of 16 teams. So, I mean, it's a great season, like you said, regardless. But they are going to have that taste in their mouths of the what if because they had a chance. They got redemption after losing to Nebraska and all them, and then maybe thought, our season might be over. And then they got another chance, but just weren't able to cash in on that chance. Another game that at the beginning of the season, a lot of people probably would have said, this should just be another game, but this is going to be a huge game and probably the most impactful game of the college football weekend, and that's South Carolina versus Clemson. This is 2 teams that's obviously a rival game, both the only 2 I know of at least that's major Power 4 colleges in South Carolina. So obviously this is a huge rivalry game between these 2 teams. But coming into the season, you probably thought this would just be another game. But with South Carolina being on the type of run that they've been on, and I love this defense from the beginning of the season when they took Alabama to the wire. I think that was like week 4. They took Alabama all the way down to the last 30 seconds of the game where Alabama had to come out with a miracle win in that one. And they dropped some games early in the season, so everybody wrote them off. But now they're sitting at 8-3. They're sitting at one of the top teams, sitting as one of the top teams in the SEC. They're in 5th place right now. Huge game for them. And then there's Clemson, who fumbled the bag, of course, as well. They had a chance to go directly to the ACC championship against Miami, possibly, and be able to win that and get into the conference as well. But right now, they're sitting at number 12 in the ranking. Obviously, Big 12 is going to knock somebody out of that. But if they win a game like this against South Carolina, who's ranked number 15, that's going to make it a little bit harder on the committee to be able to go out there and pick them to be kicked out of that top 12. So, Wayne, what are your thoughts about this game, this South Carolina versus Clemson game? It's 11 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, like I've been saying, the teams that get hot at the end of the year, and South Carolina has been extra hot, man. And they played a tough schedule, and they've been in every game that they lost.
Yeah.
Besides beating teams that they weren't supposed to beat. So I don't see Clemson having a chance in this game. But like I say, a rivalry game, man, these guys, man, they cross paths all the time. You know, well, let me change my prediction. It's gonna be a tough game. I don't know who's gonna win, but I think South Carolina has the best defense, probably one of the best defenses in the country. And Georgia had the blueprint for Clemson from the first game. They blew them out.
Yeah.
And I think it's if South Carolina comes and plays like Georgia did, and in which they have the same type of defense, I think they'll probably do the same thing. But hey, man, like I say, when it's a rivalry game, man, and these guys in the same state and they go to the same places, and it's bragging rights on the line. That's for the fans and the players. So I'm thinking South Carolina will win, but I think it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I can see this one going either way. This is a coin toss game between these two teams. Both teams coming in off a winning streak. South Carolina obviously playing tougher competition in their winning streak, but they're on a 5-game winning streak. And like you said, they played a tough schedule and they played it early. They had LSU the third week of the season that they lost to. They had Ole Miss the game after that they ended up losing to Ole Miss in the game, and then 1 week after that they played Alabama. So I mean, this South Carolina team had a super tough schedule, and they had it early, and they won out at the end of the season in games that they were underdogs in. They were supposed to lose to Missouri. They beat Missouri. They were supposed to lose to Texas A&M. They beat Texas A&M. So I mean, this team's got hot at the right time, and they got the future number 1 draft pick, probably our top 3 draft pick, coming out in a couple of years with Dylan Stewart, their freshman DN. That's a monster on their defensive line, and the kid is only 18 years old. So he's going to be a first-round pick or a top 5 pick probably when he comes out in about 2 or 3 years. So I like the South Carolina team, and I like them in this game. PJ, what's your thoughts about this Clemson-South Carolina team or Clemson-South Carolina game, what this means for the season going forward?
Well, besides the game that Texas and them going to be playing this weekend, I feel like this is the second best rivalry game this weekend.
Yeah.
That's going to hold a playoff implications because you got a South Carolina team at number 15 and Clemson at 12. So personally, I feel like if South Carolina goes in and beats Clemson in this game, they can possibly give themselves a bid into the college football playoff. And with the wins that they've had in the last month, I mean, it's kind of hard to leave them out. And it's one of the hottest teams right now in the country. And they got a freshman quarterback.
Forgot about the quarterback.
With the freshman D, he's a dog. But Lenore Sellers at quarterback, man, he's incredible.
Yeah.
This team, man, they play bully ball. I really love watching South Carolina play. They're very exciting. Their defense is, I mean, every play you're going to see all 11 around the ball. Every play. So this team is just a bunch of dogs. I'm really not sold on Clemson. I feel like they even had a very, very easy schedule in the ACC. You remember I said it. I don't understand. I mean, I know they couldn't predict SMU to be this good. I don't know how they didn't because SMU has been trending up for the last 4 years. But you can't have in the ACC the top 3 teams not play each other at all.
Yeah.
And even if SMU not play against any of the other 2 teams, which is Miami and Clemson, you got to have Miami and Clemson play because any other year you see Miami and Clemson play. So I feel like this is a game that Clemson has to win because if they don't, I mean, it's over with at that point. You already got SMU in the ACC game, and Miami, they're going to have to win this weekend as well to get in. But I mean, I'm excited, man. This is the Palmetto Bowl, so this game is always a really good game.
Facts.
And with both teams being pretty good this year, or just, I would say South Carolina, to me, I feel like they're better a little bit, but both teams are really good. This is going to be a very exciting game. I'm going for South Carolina, but I'm not sure who's going to win. You know how rivalry week is.
Yeah. Anything can happen in these rivalry games, and like you said, this is always a big game and always a close game between these two teams playing. When either team is sorry, it's times that Clemson's been number one in the nation, and South Carolina come out there and give them a tough game. So this is always going to be a super tough game, exciting game this weekend. And like you said, with the ACC, man, I don't know. Obviously, they weren't going to predict SMU to be as good as they are now, but Clemson and Miami not playing each other kind of didn't make sense to me. And because obviously going into this conference, who did you think the top dogs are going to be? I mean, Florida State was supposed to be in that, but obviously they've fallen all the way out. But you should have known Clemson and Miami were going to be some of the top dogs in there. They definitely should have played each other. I think the ACC, I understand why the SEC did what they did. The SEC made a super conference, and they ended up making it almost too good because now a lot of good teams are going to get left out. But I think the Big Ten and the ACC kind of watered down their product. I think they watered it down by adding way too many teams into both of these. I think if the Big Ten was going to add USC and UCLA and all this, then you should have kicked out a Purdue. You should have kicked out a Minnesota or a Rutgers or something to make room, because now you just have a super watered down product. Same with the ACC. You're going to add SMU and you're going to add Stanford and all them. You're just going to end up with a watered down product because you have too many teams at the bottom that aren't going to make any noise, that are going to allow for teams like Clemson and other teams to just pick up easy wins. And it's going to conflate this top 12 because now it's hard now it's going to be hard to kick out of Clemson if they go out and beat South Carolina. It's going to be tough to kick them out. They're going to be 11-2 with a win over a top 15 team as of recently. So they got a tough job ahead of them. This was supposed to be an even more crazy weekend, but some teams ended up being sorry, so it's not as entertaining like Michigan and Ohio State is this weekend as well. That could have made, we know how that's been for years, and especially in the last decade, both of those teams, this has usually been for who's getting kicked out of the playoffs between Michigan and Ohio State.
Is it Auburn, Alabama, too?
Yeah, Auburn, Alabama is this weekend. Tennessee, Vanderbilt is this weekend. Notre Dame and USC, which I'm hoping USC goes in there and finds some type of magic and ends up being good one last time so they can beat Notre Dame and Notre Dame get kicked out of there. But that game is this weekend. It was supposed to be a bunch of really, really good games this weekend, but some of the teams ended up being kind of sorry, so that kind of took that out. But still really, really good games because we talked about Texas A&M and Texas. We talked about Clemson and South Carolina. Those are huge games this weekend. Also, Kansas State and Iowa State are playing this weekend, and that's going to be a big game because both of them are still not mathematically eliminated from making the Big 12 championship. Kansas State, it would be a lot harder. They need a lot of teams to lose. But Iowa State's right there. If they go out there and win, you're right there as far as getting into that Big 12 championship. They'll have to pick between them and BYU as far as who's going to get into that slot. So a lot of big games this weekend in college football, folks. A lot of good games. So there'll be plenty for you to watch while you're eating some leftover turkey and heating your stuff back up. A lot of good games coming on this Friday and Saturday. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, got to talk about my NFL top 5. Do this list every single week. Doing the list this week right here when we come back from break. So stay tuned. Stay locked in right here on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
Are you hungry for the best fried chicken in town? Check out Crispy Chicken No. 1, 11th and Clay, and their Monday and Tuesday special, the Snack Pack, which includes 2 pieces of chicken, fries, roll, and drink, all for only $6. Also, each Monday through Friday from 4 to 6, you can feed the family for $10 and receive 6 pieces of chicken, fries, and rolls. Crispy Chicken No. 1 features additional daily specials and also includes mouth-watering short ribs, fried catfish, and chicken fried steak. Locally owned and operated and a Waco tradition since 1975. That's Crispy Chicken No. 1 at 11th and Clay.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
That's right, sports fans.
About to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis, your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime. Jalen Gillis here, joined in studio by Wayne Walker. Also calling in with us, we got PJ Gaither as well. We just got done talking about this crazy weekend in college football that not only that we just had, but coming up here in the final week of the regular season in college football. I know after that they'll have Army versus Navy week, but the final regular season week for everybody else here in college football. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today on this Thanksgiving Eve. Once again, want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. And as always, if you're watching with us on YouTube, make sure you go over, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and download the app on your mobile devices as well, Centex Sports 1, so you can listen to this content 5 to 7 p.m. weekdays right here on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. Well, folks, every single week I give out my top 5 NFL teams list. Wayne has been on here with me doing a lot of these lists, and week to week it changes. This week, I'm putting in some changes this week, Wayne. I'm putting in a couple monkey ball, a couple wrenches here in the changes, in the changing of the guard, because we're getting further and further into the season. Now getting ready to go into week 13 of the season. It's crazy how time has already flown by. We're already 13 weeks into the season here on the show, because we started the show just about right before football season started. So crazy we're already this far into the season, week 13 now. So my top 5 NFL list. I'll go ahead and start with. I'll start at the top this time instead of going 5 to 1. I'll go 1 to 5 because I think that'll make this a little bit easier for me.
Let's do it.
At number 1, I'm switching it up. I got Detroit Lions, number 1 team in football right now. I love the way that Detroit has been playing. Obviously, they played great football all year long. Only loss being in week 2 to a Tampa Bay team that was pretty good at the beginning of the season at Tampa Bay Bucks before everybody got hurt. Sitting at 10-1 on the season, the sheer domination that we've seen from this team on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, I have to go back to maybe 2015, 2014, Peyton Manning that year. He broke the record with 55 touchdowns as far as seeing the offense dominate the way that this offense is dominant. I mean, they put up 50 on the Titans. They put up 50 on the Jaguars. Those are teams that obviously aren't that good, but they're putting up 50 points on anybody in the NFL is hard to put up. It's tough to put up that many points on whatever team you're going out there playing. The way they've looked, the way that they've been dominant, I had to move them into that number 1 slot. At number 2 is the Kansas City Chiefs, the team I've had at number 1 the whole year, pretty much all year long, is Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, their only losses to the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills are really good. But, you know, they've played a lot of close games in this season. I still think they're right there as far as to win the AFC. AFC still runs through them. Nothing's changed in that matter. I just took them off of being the number 1 team in the NFL so far. Last week played a game that was way closer than what it should have been. They found a way to win still, as always. But, you know, you go down to the wire against the Carolina Panthers, you know, your eyebrows raise a little bit in that game. Like, man, I know you're not going to come out here and lose to Bryce Young and the Panthers. But they still found a way to come out there and win. I still got them the number 2 team, and the top team in the AFC is the Kansas City Chiefs. At number 3, I need to call in and check, see if Sid is watching. I got the Philadelphia Eagles at number 3. Philadelphia Eagles have been playing some great football so far this year. They've really been playing great. They started out 2-2, and there was a lot of questions. They're 2-2, and the defense can't get it done. Since then, this defense has stepped up in a huge way. Those Georgia boys that they drafted that looked like busts at the beginning of the year have been playing some great football. Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis out there, Jalen Carter. Them boys been playing some good football on that front seven. The back half, Quinyon Mitchell is the rookie of the year right now as far as defensive rookie of the year. Quinyon Mitchell has been playing phenomenal football. He's been playing against the number ones. They took Slay off the number ones, and it's been Mitchell playing against the number ones week in and week out. He's been playing great football. Now you move Slay to the number twos, and he's always going to do a good against just about any number two in the league because Darius Slay is still a good football player. So this team has been playing great, led by, if it wasn't such a quarterback award, the person that should be the MVP, and Saquon Barkley, who is having the best year of his career right now, leading the team with 1,300 yards. He's got a chance to break Chris Johnson's record at yards for scrimmage in the season, which is crazy to say. And it almost makes you feel like, man, was his talent really wasted for 6 years at the New York Giants? I know the New York Giants are terrible, and we don't even have to talk about them because of how bad they've been so far this season. I just seen them get mad last week because somebody on ESPN said something about them being bad, and they sent in reports on the lady on ESPN and told her they want her to stop talking about this, pretty much trying to get her fired, which is crazy because y'all are sorry. What are you mad about? How you gonna get somebody fired because you sorry? Who's firing y'all? Y'all the ones put this team together. Y'all the ones that had Daniel Jones playing scout team safety. But I don't want to talk about the Giants. Saquon Barkley's been playing great football. It's sad to say that he had to spend his first 6 years in New York because he's looking like he was the best running back prospect coming out of college probably since Adrian Peterson, if we're just going on based off of prospect. And right now he's living up to that hype, finally getting there with the Eagles. So I got the Eagles at number 3. Number 4, I got the Buffalo Bills coming in at 9-2. Been playing good football. Josh Allen probably right now right behind, or some people have him in front of Lamar Jackson for the MVP race because of Lamar Jackson's record sitting at 7-4, and the Bills are 9-2. But they've been playing great football. Right now, the last win is against the Kansas City Chiefs. They were the one team that finally knocked Kansas City off their high horse, at least so far in his regular season. So Buffalo's been playing some really, really good football. They got the 49ers coming up on Sunday, and we'll see how that goes because I don't know what to think of the NFC West, especially after seeing the Seahawks go out there and beat the Cardinals, who had a lead pretty much on everybody in the NFC West. I don't know what to think about the NFC West. Then the Rams, they win the games you think they're going to lose, and they lose the games you think they're going to win. And I don't know what to think about San Francisco. They're fourth place in the NFC West. But Buffalo's got them on Sunday. So the fifth spot, I'll say that for last because this was my hardest one. I really did not know where to go with this. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are sitting at 8-3. They've been looking really good so far this year. You've got the Washington Commanders, who've kind of fallen off of everybody's grace now to 7-5, especially after losing to the Cowboys. I mean, you've given the Cowboys hope. I've had to see all week now people talking about, you know the Cowboys not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs yet. We still got a way to get into the wild card. It's crazy to see. You got Green Bay playing really good football. They play tomorrow on Thursday night, and you got Minnesota. To put into that final spot, man, for them, I'm going to stick to Baltimore Ravens there, man. I like Lamar Jackson. I like Derrick Henry still. I like the game plan that they had against the Los Angeles Chargers on that Monday night, which turned out to be a really good game. I think they really executed well in that game, and it's almost like when you give Derrick Henry the ball, you win the games. All their losses, Derrick Henry's got like 12 carries. Most of their wins, Derrick Henry's got like 170 yards. So I don't know what the deal is there with Todd Monken, even though they have the top ranked offense right now in the NFL, I think right behind Detroit. But I like the Baltimore Ravens in that spot. There's plenty of places you could have gone, and wherever you two decide to go with that fifth spot, there's not a wrong answer because Pittsburgh's still 8-3. They beat Baltimore. Then I really wanted to put Minnesota in there at 9-2 because they're 9-2. I mean, it's tough to not put them in there, but I feel like they kind of beat up on some of the teams, some of the bad teams right now. And then when they lost to the Lions and the Rams, I'm still thinking about those losses. But that's in the 9-2, so it wouldn't be bad to put them in there. So Wayne, I'll start with you, man. Go ahead and start with my list and how you want to put it, and then go ahead and tell us where you'll move teams around in there.
Well, your list is a good list. I mean, it was better than last week.
Yeah.
I tell you like that. But no, it's a decent list. I mean, everything you said is dead on. Those teams that are honorable mention on my list are gonna be Pittsburgh, Honorable mention for me is going to be Minnesota. Honorable mention for me is going to be Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
That's playing outstanding right now. So those are the teams that's kind of on my radar as far as my honorable mention. But I'm gonna go 5 and up. So
go ahead.
My fifth place team is gonna be Buffalo. I'm gonna go Buffalo. You know, they've been playing outstanding, and but everything weighs heavily on Josh Allen.
Yeah.
If Josh Allen gets hurt or anything happens to him, they're out of there. Their defense been playing outstanding, but he's their do-it-all guy. He's that utility tool that you use to win games. So they're gonna be number 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
At number 4, I'm gonna go Baltimore. Baltimore. The only thing that gets me about Baltimore, I don't think they're good on the back end.
Man,
so with their offense, like you said, record numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, between Derrick Henry and Lamar and Zay Flowers, man, they're doing an outstanding job. Can move the ball and score on anybody, if they're doing the right thing. But they got to hand that rock off to Derrick Henry week in and week out. And if they can do that, and I don't think they can be beat off. I don't think they can be stopped offensively. So they're my fourth. They're my fourth spot.
Mm-hmm.
In my third spot, man, it's gonna be a surprise, and that's gonna be Kansas City. Kansas City was 1 for me last week, and they do win. They win, but it's the way they're winning.
Yeah, exactly.
And I always had this little theory where I say, if you're defending champions, you have to be number 1 because you still defending champions.
Yeah.
But just the way these other teams and these other teams that's 1 and 2 have impressed me so much. And my number 2 team is going to be Detroit.
Detroit.
I think the game is won in the trenches.
Yeah.
And I don't see anybody that has a better offensive line than Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And a defensive line as good as Philadelphia. Well, like you said, these guys starting to play. And Philadelphia is my number 1 team. Detroit.
Say it. You better be tuning in, man. You better be tuning in.
They my number 1 team. I haven't seen anybody play as good as these guys.
Yeah.
And I just think they have it all. The skill position, they had a quarterback, Jalen Hurts, playing with them in himself.
Yeah, he is.
They got the best running back.
Sure.
Tight end, they're good. And they got 2 sets of receivers. They got 2 guys that can go out and get it, even though Smith is hurt right now. I think they have it all, but they have a premier offensive line, and I don't think they can be stopped.
Yeah.
As long as they're doing the right thing with the ball and they're making the right play calls. And I think about Philadelphia, every one of those games that they lost, the one they lost to Baltimore, the first of the year, Saquon Barkley fumbles the ball. They right there, and they give them the ball, and it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
That's a game they should have easily won. The second game they lost, the same thing. They shouldn't even have any losses. They beat themselves and coaching. But if this guy goes out and coaches right, they're dominant in the trenches, and that's what it takes to win in the NFL, especially in December and January. Those are the things it takes to win.
Yeah,
and they got a young secondary, and their defense is coming around, and that was the problem for me in the beginning. But now these guys are playing.
Yeah,
and offensive, I always thought they were great, but that's my number 1 team. Philadelphia 1, Detroit 2, Kansas City 3, Baltimore 4, and Buffalo 5.
Hey, I'm not mad at that list at all because there's nobody playing better football in the league right now than the Philadelphia Eagles. We just got to go ahead and say it, y'all. No one's playing better football than these.
Brother.
Hey, y'all gonna make the job hard, man. Said might come out here. He usually wears the hat. He might come out here in a full uniform now that we done put them in number 1. But nobody's playing better than them. 7 wins in a row in the National Football League is tough to do. They started out 2-2. Everybody had questions about them. Their defense is playing great, and they probably have the best offensive player in the league with Saquon. He's literally unstoppable. We just watched that Sunday night game against the Rams, where he just dismantled Los Angeles. Not to say that Los Angeles is a premier team, but he dismantled them by himself. Jalen Hurts didn't have to do anything. A.J. Brown only had to make a couple catches here and there. Saquon Barkley took that team apart by himself. And the way that their defense is playing, man, I wouldn't be mad at anybody picking them to come out the NFC, because this team is better than the Super Bowl, the team they had go to the Super Bowl 2 years ago when they lost to Kansas City. This team is better than that team. So, I mean, I think the sky's the limit with the Philadelphia
and
Eagles.
what does it with me with Detroit, I just don't think their defense is as
It's
good.
not. That's always been that thing.
You know, the loss of Aiden Hutchinson
Huge.
is big. And then I just don't think their secondary is going to be able to get it done.
They're not.
And I just see Philadelphia having premier guys at every prime position, and that's receiver, D-line. They got defensive back, linebacker. They just kind of have it all to me. And if you playing three phases of the game, the three phases of the game is offense, defense, and special teams, and I just think they have it all. And man, you win in the NFL in the trenches. And if you have good offensive line playing, good defensive line play, most of the time you come out victorious.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Philly has. If you look at them in the NFC, say they both get to the NFC Championship game, can everybody confidently pick Detroit to win in that game? I know I can't, because I know that you can't guard A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Saquon. You're going to pick somebody, but you cannot take away the run, which they're going to try to do. Then you're going to put Terry and Arnold, a rookie, out there with A.J. Brown? Come on, man. That's lunch meat. That's barbecue chicken, as Shaq would say.
And then you have to account for the quarterback. You have to account for his legs, which he's been running lately.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to account for him. And then you got Dallas Goedert at tight end.
Yep.
They're the same thing offense-wise, pretty much. I think both of them has elite offenses. But and they both can run the ball. And Detroit, don't get me wrong, they probably have a dominant offensive line too.
For sure.
The thing that sets them apart is the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Philadelphia has a better defense, and I think they can get some stops on Detroit, whereas I don't think Detroit would be able to get any stops on Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, and that's true. That's true. And when them teams match up against each other, man, it's going to be fireworks to see those two if they both can make it to the NFC Championship. And the NFC is loaded. It's not going to be an easy run. And Detroit might pick up some more losses at the end of this season, because they still got Green Bay is good. They still got to play Green Bay again. The Minnesota Vikings are good. They got to play Minnesota again. They got two of the top 5 teams in their division, so that's going to make it tougher. The Eagles, we just saw the way that they handled the Commanders on Thursday Night Football, and we don't expect anybody else in the NFC East to challenge them doing anything. So they've got a little bit of a lesser road if you're looking at just division play. Detroit's got some tough games that they could possibly lose coming up, because everybody can keep sleeping on Green Bay. When Jordan Love plays good, they're a dangerous team to beat. They're a tough team to beat because of their defense. They're led by their defense on that side, and Josh Jacobs is, I think, 3rd right now in rushing in the league with almost 900 yards so far. So he's been playing really good football. When their offense is clicking, it's tough because their defense is going to be going week in and week out. So Detroit's got some tough games coming up, and so we got a good slate of games coming up this weekend. Obviously, we got the Thursday Thanksgiving games tomorrow, and we got pretty decent slate coming up. So a lot to look forward to, and we just talked about all the college games that are coming up this weekend too as well. So lots of good games this weekend. We'll talk a little bit more about a couple of them here in hour number 2. Wayne, want to thank you for coming on here with us today. No, for sure. Checking in with us this week, and want to wish everybody on your side a happy Thanksgiving, man, and definitely hope you and the family have a good time this weekend. We know you got to get out of here for hour number 2, so we'll let you.
Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Same to you and your family, man. Have a happy Thanksgiving. To everyone in Central Texas, happy Thanksgiving, safe travels, man, and we all have so much to be thankful for, and hey, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir, for sure, and try to avoid 35 as much as you can. I was just out there, and it's already crazy.
I'm be at home eating turkey, man, and watching football, man. That's what I'm doing, man.
That's what I can't wait to get home to be able to do. So, folks, we'll be back for hour number 2. PJ, I'll let you respond to some of these top 5 lists when we come back in a couple minutes in hour number 2. Coming up in hour number 2, we'll talk some more about that. We got a couple quick takes. We'll talk a little bit of NBA, and then we'll talk about these Thanksgiving games coming up tomorrow. So stay tuned, folks. Stay locked in right here on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this break.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald.
Exam required to qualify.
In-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
It's the family feels for me. The banana pudding peach cobbler make you want to holler for me. It's the candy yams, mac and cheese, beef tips, pork tips and rice, collard greens. It's the sweet potato pie, sweetie. Fried chicken you've been missing, the lemon sweet tea dressing on Sundays when you all dressed up. Chest pie, buttermilk, and pound cake. Cornbread with butter just dripping, always fresh baked. If you need Southern style, soul food, home cooked meals that you can feel. Chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie, 719 South 11th Street. Sassy's, come on by.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
To me, you are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Come on, start it up. Let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time, hour number 2 here on the show on this Thanksgiving Eve. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today, whether that's on YouTube or on the app Centex Sports 1 if you're listening on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas, 94.5 HD. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. If you haven't already heard it here on the show, definitely want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Some of you guys I know probably stuck in traffic right now driving to wherever you're going for Thanksgiving. Want to thank you guys for tuning in with us today on the show. Just wrapped up hour number 1 with Wayne Walker and PJ. Wayne had to get out of here, get ready for his Thanksgiving plans as we talked about the new college football playoff ranking. We talked about my NFL top 5 teams as well here and talked a little bit about the games that are coming up this weekend in college football. And we'll talk about the games that are coming up this weekend in the NFL just a little bit later in the show. Right now, we got some quick takes I want to talk about. We got PJ still joining on with us here too. And we also got Quay coming on the show with us as well. Quay, what's going on?
What's up, man? Crazy week in sports, man. There we go.
Crazy week in sports. And like I said, we'll start with a couple of quick takes. And we seen the whole, we talked about it a little bit in hour number one, just a little bit, but the whole crazy saga that's going on with the New York Giants and how they've handled this Daniel Jones situation. Now we see Malik Neighbors come out and saying it wasn't the quarterback's fault. We're still going out here and losing. He looks like he's pretty mad. And if he could request a trade as a rookie, he probably would have already. But he can't do that. Just got to the team. Daniel Jones, though, just picked up by the Minnesota Vikings. I have no idea what that means. I just know it's news and that he's got picked up after the New York Giants released him. Quay, what are your thoughts about the Vikings picking up Daniel Jones in free agency?
To be honest, it's not a bad move. It's not a good move. It's just a move.
Yeah.
It's okay that everybody needs depth. Who is the backup quarterback for? Don't they got a rookie?
He got hurt. He out for the season. He tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Preseason.
So they got okay. So he got. No, I'm saying so he's not going to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I don't. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was a B move. I guess it doesn't move the needle for him, but I guess everybody needs a guy that can come in and play right now. But Daniel Jones is like, where do we go?
Yeah, that's like I get it. Like you said, every team needs a backup, so I get it, kind of. But I mean, is it a big move? No, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just a move. Like I mean, there's nothing else really to say about it. People are like, oh, what does this mean for J.J. McCarthy in his season next year? Hey, bro, they just picked him up to finish this season. We don't know if this dude will be playing in China next year. We don't know what Daniel Jones is going to be doing. Like I said, he got plenty of money. Hopefully he decides to go ahead and open up a law firm or something. You got a bunch of money, bro. Football just not your thing right now. PJ, what's your thoughts about Daniel Jones getting picked up by the Minnesota Vikings?
Hold on, you said he should open up a law firm?
Yeah, a law firm, something, bro. A claims court firm, something. You need to do something, bro. You got plenty of money. Put that money somewhere. Start your construction business. Something. It's just not football.
We don't even know if he went to school and
I don't know what he might have majored in general studies. Just go and open that law firm still, bro. You got plenty of money. You'll find a lawyer. They gave you $100 million. You can find somebody.
No, I personally feel the Vikings is they just doing something right now. Man. I mean, he's gonna be a backup though. He's gonna be a backup.
Oh, for sure.
On the practice squad, you never know. Yeah, I don't see no future in his game. I mean, he better off just going to the Canadian League. He could possibly make it over there, or the XFL too. But I mean, this really not. I don't know. It's not beneficial for either party. I mean, for him, he's never gonna start again in the league unless somebody just miraculously get hurt or something. You know, it might have to be two quarterbacks on the team get hurt and a desperate team play him. You know, they could possibly be the Vikings, or you never know. But the Giants still are gonna suck. I don't trust the other quarterback that was behind him, even though I personally feel like that quarterback was better than him, and he did show that a little bit last year when he played. But he still sucks too. And the Giants are a terrible organization. So I see nothing going for either party. You know, this is a lose-lose situation. Both parties are trash. One is an organization, and then the other one is just a player. He's just not good. So, yeah, I mean, it ain't my team. So, and my team trash too, but we ain't as bad as them.
No, ain't nobody that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what do we do as football fans to continuously have to watch the Giants on Thanksgiving? What did we do? Did we say something? Did we say the wrong thing? Did we do something to somebody? That's the primetime game every year. And I feel like the Cowboys will play. Cowboys are going to be on there, but I feel like every other year they're playing the Giants. Why?
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
They under their Manning contract.
Yeah, it must be. Hey, that might be the best answer that I've heard so far. It must be something to do with the Mannings or something, because I don't get it, bro. What we got to watch Tommy DeVito on Thanksgiving? while everybody's sitting around eating their turkey, we got to watch that
You
happen.
sound like a hip hop dancer.
Sound like one of the Backstreet Boys or something. Tommy DeVito. I don't like. Come on, bro. We got him versus Cooper Rush. That's what we got to watch on Thursday on Thanksgiving. We already got to watch the Bears versus the Lions. We got to watch the Lions stump a hole in the Bears to start off Thanksgiving. Then after that, we got to watch Cooper Rush versus Tommy DeVito. We didn't deserve that, NFL. We didn't deserve that, and y'all got to do better than that than putting up some of these games.
On Thursday, man, because I might not be watching no football. I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't think I don't know the NBA's not playing. I was trying to figure out, was this some college men's basketball or something?
Dang. You gotta watch these.
Man, I might be watching some old boxing fights on YouTube or something, bro. I'm not finna watch that. I'm just gonna keep it. But I'm not finna sit up. Then the night game is the Dolphins and the Packers. Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Who wants to watch that? Like, come on, man. I'm gonna be catching up on NBA highlights. So that's where I'll go next, folks. NBA season is in full effect. NBA right now, think about 18, 19 games into the season. Starting to see, some teams starting to get some leads on people. Starting to see my Houston Rockets looking like some dogs out there, man. Shout out Houston. Just beat Minnesota last night. We undefeated in the NBA Cup. Third in the West right now, 13-6. It's not looking like a fluke. We got the most athletic team in the NBA. We're just still young, and we still lose some of those close games. But I said before the season, we're going to make the playoffs. But I'm thinking we might get one of them top 6 seeds. We looking good. We got the youth out there. Cam Whitmore ain't even playing. A lot of people like Cam on our team. He ain't even playing. Well, if we can find a way to get him in the fold, man, I'm telling you, this Houston team can be dangerous. But I want to talk to y'all about who are some of the surprise hoopers so far this year that have kind of, caught everybody off guard and that are doing some work right now in the league. Shout out to the Spurs. They're up to 10-8. Got that 10th spot right now in the West. They were sitting at the bottom, but who are some surprise hoopers that have kind of caught y'all off guard? And I'll say one of them for me that didn't catch me off guard, but I think Rob Dillingham has been playing some great basketball the last couple of games that he's been playing for the Timberwolves. And my number one surprise hooper it's not a surprise because he's good, but LaMelo Ball been hooping. LaMelo Ball, the Hornets are just sorry, and I hate that he's on the Hornets because they are extra, extra sorry. But LaMelo Ball has been hooping so far in the beginning of the season. He's been playing great. I just don't his team is terrible. I don't think there's any way to get around that. The Hornets are just a bad organization. But he's averaging 31 right now. Dude is averaging 31 and 7 assists. Got to put some respect on LaMelo Ball. Dude's been going out here playing some crazy good basketball. I don't know why Brandon Miller hadn't taken the next step yet. And he's averaging 19, but they just don't look good. Miles Bridges just trying to be a rapper. He be posting codeine on his story on Instagram, so he out of there. I can't even count him as a hooper. But the team is sorry. But LaMelo Ball has really been hooping, man. He caught me off guard. I know dude can hoop. I've been knowing he can hoop, but he averaged 31. Got to give him some respect on that. Quay, who are some surprise hoopers right now in the NBA that's kind of caught you off guard? Like, oh man, he's hooping this year.
First of all, bro, LaMelo got 45, like 3 games in a row.
Yeah, bro.
Like, what are you talking about? Then he's doing it like little league, like against great players.
Yeah.
Like, he's making everybody, he looked like he's the best player on the court at all time. His confidence never shakes. Bro, like, LaMelo playing crazy. Bro, Aaron Wiggins from OKC, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro.
Shout out A. Wiggins.
He's a hooper, bro. Just go look at his game individually when he got it, bro. They run offense through him. Like, then really OKC just probably got one of the best development programs for young players through there. We look nice. Shea back on course. Jalen Williams shooting way better from the 3, but I'm always shout my team out.
J-Dub been playing good ball.
I like Connect.
Yeah.
He's consistent. The game a little fast for him, but he can hoop. He's a little seasoned. He can be plug and play. I like when he's playing great, he knows the game. It's been Westbrook from the 76ers too. He going crazy.
Oh yeah, Jerry McCain, fingernail paint.
Yeah,
he can hoop. I can't even lie. I was hating on him at the beginning of the year. He can hoop though.
I think the 76ers should go ahead and run their offense through 2 guards.
Yeah, I think they should trade Embiid. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, Jalen, after 12, how many seasons you been at? 10?
Yeah.
After 10 years of no success, man, and when let Kawhi go win a chip, it's a wrap. You lose on a Kawhi Hail Mary,
Yep.
it's over.
Yeah, that was their last chance.
But yeah, it's a lot of young Coopers just going crazy right now. But yeah, man, just shout out. But I'm telling you, if y'all just go watch A Wig, bro. He play on a team full of greats, but he nice, bro.
Now, Aaron Wiggins, I like that pull. I like that pull. Aaron Wiggins is nice for them. I know we'll get Kyrell on the show later in the week probably. He think who do you say was better than him? Hardy. He said Hardy better than A Wiggins. So he ain't worried about.
And Kawhi on the team. Can't play 6 minutes in a row. Right, come on.
Hey, the Mavs been playing better without Luka. I don't know what, Kyrell, y'all got some problems out there in Dallas, bro. If your team playing better with your number one player. What'd you say?
They can flow. They can flow. Like they can just play ball. We don't got to watch one player do what he do great. And what he doesn't do great absolutely hurts their team. So
that's facts. That's facts. And he's proven to be bottom of the league. If people are debating, I heard somebody debating on TikTok on one of them shows they be having on TikTok talking about he's not the worst in the league because there's still Trae Young. If you're in the conversations with Trae Young as a defender, bro, you're the worst in the league, bro. It's time to wrap it up. Like you're clearly at the bottom of the league as far as a defender, because Trae Young can't guard me. So I don't think if you're getting
5'10",
come on, bro. You 6'8", and you get compared to him. Like, of course he can't guard nobody. He 160 pounds. Like you said, he 5'10". He's not gonna be able to guard nobody. Only people we seen short like that guarding people is Chris Paul, and he ain't Chris Paul. So. But yeah, the Dallas Mavericks have looked better. PJ, who's any surprising hoopers or surprising teams so far for you watching this NBA season?
I like what's his name for the Magic? Franz Wagner.
Oh, Franz Wagner. Yeah, Franz Wagner, nice.
I wasn't familiar with his game. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, he's pressure. I ain't gonna even lie to you, man. I think he's top 5 in defense. And offensively, yeah, he could just hoop, bro. He could just hoop. I really like the Magic. They a scrappy team, man.
Man, I hate Paolo got hurt. They were gonna be tough.
They're gonna be real tough, man. They just real scrappy. So I'm really liking them. Our Rockets, the Rockets right now, man. That's my team too. So I've been really watching them. They looking pretty good right now. We just a very young team. That's the only thing. We're very young, but. We won last night? We won, and I think Jalen Green only had 9 points.
Yeah. Jalen, man, he's so inconsistent, man. I hate getting on him and talking about my team, but
Michelle.
Like literally, bro. Like, golly, this lady got you. Man, this what happened to Orlando Scandrick. Scandrick was at least a top inside corner, and it all fell apart quickly. He turned into one of the worst in the league, man. Jalen Green, come on, dog. Come on, dog.
I gotta leave Dre alone, man.
Come on, bro.
He already we already sketchy on him just off of that one video.
Yeah.
Oh, they could have released him off that video.
They released the other dude. He's still not in the league because of that.
Yeah, we need to release. Yeah, just get both of them. Cause that was.
That was very questionable. But I mean, not even questionable. Just flagrantly questionable. I'll leave it at that because we on the radio. Flagrantly questionable behavior from Jalen Green in that video. But yeah, I'm mad at him for being inconsistent, bro. Like sometimes he'll give us 30, but he has a lot of games where he's getting 12, where he's getting 9, where he's getting 13, and we just got a really solid team that can hoop. Shout out Torrey Easton. He probably gonna win 6th Man of the Year. He been playing some really good basketball. Could have said him. Man, Thompson's been playing really good last night. He kind of saved us on both sides of the ball with defense and scoring late in that overtime, giving us a boost. Then we got Baby Jokic with Şengün. So I like our squad, man. I like what we've been doing so far, and I like you said, the Magic. Paolo wasn't got hurt. Magic they might still be a top 3 seed because right now the East is terrible. I like Cleveland and I like Boston, but the East is horrible right now. The East has 4 teams in the entire East that are over 500. 4. And the Knicks are barely over 500 at 10-7. So the East is absolutely horrible. They are at this point. They need to take away the East and the West and just make everybody play each other because the West is literally probably about 12 teams deep that are really good teams, and the East is horrible. So I hate to see that. Want to talk about something I seen online. You know, we've talked about some of their topics before. I watched the show Gillis Arena. You know, they got guys on there, Rashad McCants, all those dudes. And we all know McCants, he is a LeBron hater or whatever. So he's saying, man, nobody challenges LeBron anymore. Or nobody challenges in LeBron. Everybody in the league is scared of LeBron. Nobody challenges him. They shouldn't be letting him get 4 or 5 triple-doubles in a row, which one doesn't even make sense. Like, how you let somebody get 4 triple-doubles in a row. Maybe he's just good at basketball. I don't know. But he's saying nobody, they should be all giving, he's 40 years old. They should all be giving him 50 right now. And so
What do you mean by
Gilbert Arena said, who can give him 50 at his position right now outside of Giannis? He plays a forward. Who's a forward or really the 4 spot that can give LeBron 50? And he just started naming a bunch of random people. Is there anybody, that's what I wanted to ask y'all, who do y'all think could give LeBron 50? I don't think anybody's ever going to give LeBron 50 because he's just too big for one. Like, what are you going to do? You going to dunk on him? You going to cross him and stuff like that? Nobody's giving LeBron 50. I don't care how old he gets. Nobody giving him 50. Wasn't nobody giving Jordan 50. He going to foul you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what you mean you're going to give him a bunch of guys? They're scared of him. That's why they're not giving him 50. Maybe he's just still good at basketball. What's your thoughts on that, man? You know, it's McCants. He always hating on LeBron anyway. But Quay, I'll start with you. Is there a bunch of people in the league that you think can get LeBron 50 right now?
Okay, forget he's 40. Has anybody gave him 50?
Yeah, come on, bro. That's what anybody.
Name a person that just gave LeBron 50 on his noggin. Never.
Only person I've ever seen look LeBron eye to eye and just give him buckets is Kevin Durant. That's exactly it. And that was
the only person I've ever seen, to be honest.
That was a decade ago, and he was on a super stack team, and LeBron still had 40, 11, and 8. But that's the only person I've seen just look at LeBron in his face and like, you're getting buckets right now for the whole game.
Rashad McCants is he could be 21-year-old Rashad McCants and LeBron could be 40, he'd give him 97. Like, come on, bro. Like, it at one point you gotta be a hater. Man, bro, even Anthony Davis not giving LeBron 50.
No.
Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't know, man. That's just and then we have to listen to him.
Yeah, like
sit next to other cold players. Like you just wasn't good, bro. It's okay.
I don't get why he hate LeBron so much. He's one of those fans that we see on Twitter and all these other places that think if you're a fan of somebody else, that means you hate somebody. He's a super diehard Kobe fan, so he thinks that means I gotta hate LeBron, which doesn't make any sense.
Kendrick Lamar fans?
I say, come on, man, don't start that. He said Kendrick Lamar fans. But no, he think because you're a Kobe fan, you got to go out here and hate on. You don't have to hate on him, bro. And first of all, LeBron is better than Kobe. I already said this on the show before. We got plenty of Kobe fans listening with us. LeBron is better than Kobe. Well, let's go ahead and stop that. It's not an argument. He's better than. They know that. They know that. They know that. They just try to bring up other random stuff. He didn't grit his teeth like Kobe did. He didn't look at people in the eyes like, man, be quiet. He's better than him at basketball. Like, it's just that simple.
I scored the same amount of points and you way more efficiently. How are you better than me?
Sooner. He scored. He passed him in scoring. He passed him in everything sooner than Kobe did it. He did it at a younger age than what Kobe did it. And Kobe was birthed onto a championship team. LeBron went to Cleveland. LeBron went to the worst organization in NBA history and got them to the finals and then came back and won a final. Like, come on, man. I don't get that. PJ, what you think about what McCann's talking about of people giving them 50? You think it's somebody or at least a bunch of people? I agree. I think Giannis will give him 50 because I think Giannis will give anybody 50 because he's just going to hit you the whole time and go dunk. I think Giannis will give anybody 50, so maybe Giannis, but I don't see anybody giving LeBron 50. What you think?
Personally, bro, he just a hater. I really don't even listen to him. Like, he really, I don't know a person that's ever been in the league alongside LeBron who could give him 50, to be honest. I mean, maybe it's some guys, like I said, KD, Giannis. I even go back to Melo.
Yeah. Melo's a problem.
But you're going to give him 50, but are you going to win?
No.
So that's the real question he should be. That's the real question that should be asked. You going to give him 50, what he going to give you?
Yeah, for real.
Like, and are y'all going to win the game? Like, I don't be understanding the points, bro. Like, you just dry want to hate at all times. Like, I don't get it. Like, what did LeBron do to him?
I've been trying to figure that out. I don't know why he hate him so much.
Yeah, like what he do to him, man? Because he traumatized.
Bro, he thought he was gonna be LeBron.
It must be. It must be that or something. Like, 'cause I don't get it.
He just full of hate for no reason, bro. Like he just be spouting nonsense. Like I don't know. I don't even understand. And then he's saying let him. Nobody's ever let LeBron do anything. He go get it.
I hate that they try to do the old school thing. Oh well, when we was in the league, because that's what he said. He was like, we wasn't gonna let LeBron go get enough. Hey,
But
bro, what are you
LeBron
talking?
older
What are you talking
LeBron
about?
older than him?
They about the same age. They really about the same age.
What are you talking about? Y'all played at the same time.
Exact
They
same
be
time.
acting like LeBron been in the league for like 20-some years.
Yeah.
Bro, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Why don't the other greats say these things about LeBron? I've never heard Melo say this. I've
Exactly.
never heard any of these other greats say these things. Like, why be the mid player?
I don't know. I don't know why they got that. Hey, I've never heard the contemporaries. You'll never hear KD say that. I've never heard the contemporaries come out and say, Tim Duncan said, we're going to guard LeBron. When in 2007, when they played in the finals, he said, we're going to guard LeBron with 5 people because he's the best player in the world. LeBron was 22 years old. And he said, we're going to guard him with 5 people because they were talking about, oh, how's Bruce Bowen going to do against LeBron in the finals? He said he's not going to do anything because we're going to guard him with 5 people because he's the best player in the world. LeBron was 22. Here we are 20 years later, almost still having these conversations about LeBron James, man. I don't get the hate. We see the people on the internet with the hate. We see the old heads that still want to hold on to Michael Jordan being the best, even though he was getting guarded by Jeff Hornacek, and all this stuff. And man, LeBron, Michael Jordan. I just heard Charles Barkley last night on there because I think LeBron is close to passing Michael Jordan in 30-point games or something like that. And he's like, LeBron still ain't passed him in 30-point games. What, man, y'all want to call this dude the best. Look at what Michael did. Hey, bro.
They got to let that go, bro.
Stop it.
They got to let
Just stop it, bro. Come on, man. First off, LeBron's not even a scorer. Jordan was only job on the team was to go put the ball in the hoop. And he's probably the best ever to do it, to just put the ball in the hoop. LeBron's job was to do everything. He had to be the best defender on most teams he's been on. He had to be the distributor on most teams he's been on. He's led his team in assists, I think, every single year that he's been in the league. He's got to be the assist man. And he's also got to be the top scorer. He's been the top scorer on every single team that he's been on, probably besides this year and last year with Anthony Davis. So, like, come on, bro. What are we talking about? I don't get it. I don't get the Bron hate and why they try to come out with these random narratives and stuff like that. And I'm starting to see them do it with other players in the league as well. Not saying that they as good as him. I don't know why everybody hates Giannis so much. When did everybody start hating Giannis? I ain't just a Giannis fan, but they make me start sounding like a Giannis fan, man. Giannis really sorry. Bro, Giannis scored 50 in a Game 6 to win the championship. Giannis will score 50 on anybody right now. Giannis averaging like 30-something. He averaged 30 last year. I don't get it. I don't get why they pick these certain players that they just go out and just like, man, we're going to make him be the guy that's sorry. He can't do nothing. Giannis averaging 32 right now, 6 assists, and 11 boards. Why they got to hate on this dude? His problem is he's stuck with Doc Rivers. That's his problem. He got stuck with Doc Rivers as a coach. And that's been everybody's problem that's been stuck with Doc Rivers. Go ahead, PJ.
If Giannis played in the 90s and in the 2000s, he getting everybody 50.
Anybody. What are you talking about? Like, he's getting 50. Especially in the, come on, we don't even got to say the 90s. They're going to, Karl Malone is going cool. Karl Malone's going to hit him. He's going to be an and one. Dude got an 8-foot wingspan. We would have hit him coming down the lane. Charles Barkley, you 6'4". What was you going, Giannis 7 foot with an 8-foot wingspan. It's dunks the whole night. It's all dunks. So I don't get why they pick these random dudes to hate on like that in the league. Obviously, Bron's been one of the most hated, but they pick a few dudes this year, or every year really, that they're going to pick to be the guys that they're going to hate on. But shout out to the folks in the NBA, man. They're doing their thing this year. I think this season shaping up to be a good season. Like we said before, I think OKC going to win the West. And, Cleveland's probably going to win the East, man. Cleveland been playing some really good basketball. I think Cleveland's probably going to win the East. Will they come out of the East? No, they'll win the regular season. I don't think they're better than Boston still. But Cleveland's been playing some really good really good basketball. And Donovan Mitchell got to be in some MVP conversations because his team is 17-1. We got to put him up there as far as being in the MVP conversation, especially since Luka is he's hurt, and right now his team is 9th in the West. So you got to kind of drop him back some. And, hey, Kyrie don't like to hear that. But like I said at the beginning of the season when he told me I was tripping, they're going to be in the 7th or 8th seed, bro, for the when the playoffs come around. That's the seed they're going to be in. They're just not a good regular season team like that. And then I don't think they're going back to the Western Conference Finals either, but that's another debate for a whole nother day. Right now, NBA in full effect. Plenty of good games. There's a bunch of games going on right now, actually. Rockets playing the 76ers, who have been the biggest disappointment in the league. 76ers might get a top 3 pick. Literally the only team worse than the 76ers right now is Washington. That's wild. They got PG and all this and said they're going to come out the East. You might as well. I don't think you could trade PG's contract this early. But like Quay said earlier, you might as well build around the 2-guard system with Tyrese Maxey and Jared McCain. I'll trade Joel Embiid to whoever's going to take them, and I'll trade Paul George too, because what are you competing for? What are you going to do? They're both old. They both always hurt. Might as well trade them and move on. Folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got the last 30 minutes of the show here. We want to talk about these Thanksgiving games and a couple of these NFL games coming up in Week 13 now. The NFL starting to get late into the season, getting nearer and nearer to the playoffs. So stay tuned, stay locked in right here on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this break.
Central Texas home for sport. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blazing Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blazing Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Are you hungry for the best fried chicken in town? Check out Crispy Chicken #1, 11th and Clay, and their Monday and Tuesday special, the Snack Pack, which includes 2 pieces of chicken, fries, roll, and drink, all for only $6. Also, each Monday through Friday from 4 to 6, you can feed the family for $10 and receive 6 pieces of chicken, fries, and rolls. Crispy Chicken #1 features additional daily specials and also includes mouth-watering short ribs, fried catfish, and chicken fried steak. Locally owned and operated and a Waco tradition since 1975. That's Crispy Chicken #1 at 11th and Clay.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Get ready for the business.
This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
That's right, sports fans.
About to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis, your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time here in the final stretch on this Thanksgiving Eve. Thank everybody for tuning in with us so far today. We've had a full show today and getting ready for Turkey Day tomorrow on Thanksgiving. Rest in peace to the Turkey Leg Hut. I just seen on Instagram talking about they're closing down for good. I guess I don't know. It happened at an inopportune time. If it would be in Turkey Day tomorrow. I don't know what's going on with them, but yep, said the Turkey Leg Hut is closing down. We're here in the final stretch of the show today, and still got PJ on here with me. Got Quay joining in with me as well. And what's y'all's go-to for Thanksgiving, man? Everybody's got they thing they gotta have on Thanksgiving, or their food they gotta have. Quay, I know you don't hardly eat nothing, so I don't know what your go-to is for Thanksgiving foods, but hey, everybody gotta go. Everybody gotta go to the turkey and the dressing, or some people is the yams, whatever it is. Mine is the mac and cheese, man. Mac and cheese is essential for Thanksgiving in my eyes. Obviously, turkey and dressing is cool and all that kind of stuff. The mac and cheese is essential, man. I feel like it's a big part of the Thanksgiving meals and the prep. So if you have good mac and cheese and you feel like sending plates out, we can arrange that. We can work something out. If you're in the Waco area, we can arrange that. Now, if your mac and cheese tastes like Bush's chicken or something, come on, man. We stop playing. You're wasting time. If it's the real deal, let us know. Send in the recipes or something like that. DM on Instagram. Send in the recipes or something that y'all got, man. Mac and cheese, that's my go-to on Thanksgiving. PJ, what's the go-to, the must-have for Thanksgiving foods?
I'm dressing and yams, and then the mac and cheese. Really in that order. Yeah, in that order. They're my three. I ain't too much of a fan of turkey, bro. I really don't like turkey like this.
We all know turkey's overrated. It's just part of the Thanksgiving experience. We all know it's overrated, though. Shout out to that fried turkey, though, man. That fried turkey's something serious. But we all know that it's overrated. And I seen that you said it was dressing, man. I don't know where the cultural differences lie between dressing and stuffing. I don't think I've ever had stuffing before in my life. Don't know what that is.
I don't really know.
But I don't know what the cultural differences is with that, because we say dressing. But, on other shows today, all I've heard is the turkey and stuffing.
So the other people, they call it stuffing.
I don't know what the culture.
They stuff their turkey.
They stuff their turkey, yeah.
But don't they stuff it with dressing, though?
Yeah, but dressing.
So, I don't get it. I don't get, like I said, it's a cultural difference there. White people, they say stuffing. Black people, we gonna say the dressing. Turkey and dressing, they just go together. You say you do the dressing. Are you cranberry sauce or no cranberry sauce?
Nah, I don't need the cranberry sauce.
Okay.
Actually, look, I got something special what I do. I put the gravy on there sometimes, but then after a while, like by the third plate, it's gonna be just yams mixed with the dressing.
Okay. You kind of just mix it all up in there. I'm kind of that way too. I do the cranberry sauce in there, but like you said, by the end of it, it's kind of just gonna be a mix of a little bit of everything on there. The dressing, the mac and cheese, a little bit of everything.
Mac and cheese.
I don't care about the food touching food. You just put it all on the plate, man. Same job gonna happen. Quay, we'll end with you because we know you don't eat nothing, man. What's your go-tos for Thanksgiving food?
My grandma made me a roast. I don't eat no Thanksgiving food, but I'm nothing but the dressing, stuffing, turkey, whatever you call it. Whatever y'all eat, I don't eat it. Mac and cheese, though, I will eat mac and cheese, and my grandfather make a potato salad of food, so my plate is so random.
That's what I figured it was gonna be. That's why we saved yours for last. He said they making a roast on Thanksgiving. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it, man. Long as everybody eating some good food and we ain't got to eat out. I try to make it to about Saturday before I start paying for food again, man. I try to go at least a couple days without having to pay for no food again. I used to try to see if I can stretch it all the way till Monday, but I think I'm past my prime as far as doing that. I don't know if I can get that far, but I at least got to get to Saturday.
I stretch mine all the way to a week.
he, going,
he
going back next Thursday. No, for real. But definitely wishing everybody happy Thanksgiving, man. Make sure you talk to your loved ones. You don't know when your last time is with the people. You got a lot to be thankful for. No matter where you're at listening to this in life, everybody got a lot to be thankful for. And Thanksgiving is about kicking it with your people, even if you don't eat turkey and stuffing or turkey and dressing, like Quay said. But definitely wishing everybody happy Thanksgiving. To close out the show today, want to talk about these Thanksgiving games that we got tomorrow on the NFL slate. Now, I ain't gonna lie, it's not just some barn burners here. It's not just the craziest games to look forward to. But we'll break them down with. I'll start with the first one, which will probably end up being the best game, unfortunately. And that's the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. They get the first game, 11:30. Detroit always gets the Thanksgiving game. I think them and the Cowboys every year are the two teams that are always going to get the Thanksgiving game. So Detroit's actually good this time, so it makes it a little bit better watch. But Chicago's kind of iffy. They started out 4-1, and everybody's saying, oh, man, they can go out here and win. You know, Kyle had picked them to come out of the NFC North, which is just wild. It still ended up being one of the most wild takes of the year, saying they'll come out the NFC North. But they've lost now, 5 in a row? 5 in a row for the Chicago Bears that they lost. They fired Shane Waldron as the offensive coordinator. Caleb Williams played decent last week, but, you know, Bears still not that good. So what's y'all's opinion on this game? PJ, I'll start with you. Chicago versus Detroit. Right now, Detroit, a 9.5-point favorite in this game. That game kicks off at 11:30 tomorrow.
I think Detroit can possibly win more than just 9 points, to be honest. They could win by a few touchdowns. But Chicago, man, they got the talent. You know, they got the young guys. They just got to figure out how to put it all together. Caleb Williams got to really figure it out how to be consistent, which this is rookie year.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting too much weight on him. It really comes down to the coaching. The coaching staff got to figure out some type of way, and preferably the head coach needs to figure out how to make Caleb, put him in the right positions, put him in the right, situations for him to prosper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a rookie quarterback, really, and they got all the pieces, man. And if they don't got all the pieces, they got enough pieces to make some noise, and we've seen that in the first few weeks of the season. So really going into this game, man, he's going to really have to lock in, and I'm really speaking on the coach. He's going to have to lock in and figure out a way, because to be honest, I seen this team. I didn't think they were going to just. I ain't going to go as far as like Kyrell went too far. They was going to be coming out the NFC. That was too far. They still got time to make some noise in the NFC. I don't really think they'll be a playoff team, but you can really go in and right now you're in the middle of the season, so you can kind of try to turn the season around and make a little bit of noise and possibly finish, over 500. So they need to really figure it out defensively and offensively. Like I said, they got all the pieces. It just comes down to just locking in. I don't think they're going to be the week because Detroit is just too explosive, too dominant, and those guys right now, they rolling. They're one of my favorite teams right now in the league, man. I love watching and seeing them play. And so I don't think this is going to be the week that they'll figure it out. But even if you don't come out with the win, just try to make some positives out of this game.
No, for sure. You got to try to come out with some positives. And this is a week that you want to try to catch a Detroit. It's Thanksgiving. Everybody's got a lot of stuff on their mind. Obviously, they're thinking about being with their families. It's a short week. This is the time you catch a Detroit type of team. So you got to come out here. Chicago's got to come out and try to win this game. They can't come out here playing around. They got to come out and try to win. The best thing I did see from their loss last week against the Minnesota Vikings is that he's finally throwing the ball to DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. It's almost like they're really good at football. You should give them the ball more. He hadn't been throwing them all year. I don't know what's going on. We've seen him and DJ Moore like kind of almost like low-key beefing on the team or some parts of the season. I don't know what's going on with that, but throw the dude the ball. Like, he's good. Keenan Allen's still one of the best route runners in the league. Throw him the ball. Like, I don't get it. He finally threw him the ball some last week, but hopefully we'll see more of that against Detroit because, Detroit don't have no corners you should be scared of. You should be throwing at all of them. You should throw right at Carlton Davis. You should throw right at Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold's, I think, one of the league leaders in pass interferences so far this year. So you got to throw at that guy. So hopefully Caleb Williams makes this game entertaining because we know the next one not going to be entertaining. Quay, what's your thoughts about Detroit versus Chicago to open up Thanksgiving Day?
Man, I don't know if you remember, Jalen, we had a conversation like right after he got drafted. I was like, bro, I just never was sold on Caleb.
Yeah,
it's not that he's not great. I think it's just he's always been in good coaching situation that allowed him to be Caleb, and now he's in one that is not allowed, now putting him in the position to be a high functioning quarterback in the NFL. He's having to go through a system, but like I don't know why I'm always just never just got that. Yeah, I think he can do it from Caleb. But I do think he has a lot of great. How can I say it? He does a lot of different things on the football field that other players can't do.
Yeah.
But the things that I need him to be as a quarterback, sometimes he lacks. And right now his confidence is getting shaky from the organization. They started out great, but they don't put up points.
Yeah.
It's just tough when you're not getting in the end zone as a quarterback and you used to scoring points and beating off script and making up stuff and doing these throws, and now you're becoming just a system quarterback and or feeling like you're not prospering. It's gonna shake your confidence. But I don't know. It's just ugly football when they play. It's like watching the Steelers. They win, but ugly.
No, and I definitely remember having them conversations, and I've always said it the same thing. It's not that I don't think Caleb Williams is good. Not sold on him like I was never sold on him on the talent that y'all saying he was going to be. Everybody put him up to be when he came into the league. They were saying he got Patrick Mahomes on him. He got something. He got this. He got that. I'm like, man, he can be a good quarterback. But they were saying this is a generational talent. I don't see generational talent when I look at him. And I think that he is extremely talented. But talent only gets you so far in the league. It's about intangibles, especially playing the quarterback league. You got to be a leader of men. Being a quarterback, that's a completely different thing. I was never sold on him being the total package. Like he's going to be the one that turns around Chicago's team. I think they can be better with him. But I mean, what is that saying? They had Mitch Trubisky as quarterback. Like what? Better than what? They had Justin Fields after that, who wasn't playing good. Like he'll be better than them. But what is that saying? I was never sold on him being generational talent. Hall of Fame level talent. I've never seen that from Caleb Williams, not even in college. Even though they tried to make it after he won the Heisman. Man, this is the most talented guy. He's going to be like Mahomes. Like we didn't watch him go out there and lose 6 games with USC his senior year or his last year at USC. I don't know why everybody just kind of erased that from their brain. But these are some of those same things. Now, I will say, Chicago has not put him in the best positions to succeed. They were running probably the worst offensive scheme in the league with what they were running. Because they got too many dogs on offense to be as sorry as they've been. And like you said, there's too many games where they weren't scoring points. I mean, they scored 3. They lost 19-3 against the Patriots. Like, come on, man. Like, stuff like that, I don't want to say it's unforgivable because he's a rookie, but we're going to remember that. You lost 29-9 against the Cardinals. We're going to remember that. You lost 18-15 against the Commanders. Commanders ain't got no great defense. None of those teams I just named have a great defense. So, yeah, you put up 27 on the Vikings, but you got, like PJ said, you got to be more consistent. So that's the first game on the Thanksgiving slate. That game is scheduled to kick off at 11:30. The next game is, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this one. The Cowboys versus the Giants. I don't know what to say about that. It's Cooper Rush versus Tommy DeVito. Who's questionable? How are you questionable and you just played your first game of the year? He's already questionable for the next game. What is? I don't know what's going on with the Giants. Just throw Malik Neighbors the ball so we can see something interesting happen. Just let him run Wildcat or something with Malik Neighbors so he can just have the ball every play. Yeah, put him at quarter. Let's let him run Wildcat so we can just watch something interesting. Because watching Tommy DeVito or whoever in the world would be his backup. No idea who would be his backup since he's questionable to come into the to play this game. I don't even know how could he be questionable? He just played one game. Tim Boyle is the back. Oh, never mind. Drew Lock. Drew Lock is the backup. That ain't a better option either. I don't know what to think of this. The Giants 2-9, they garbage. The Cowboys is garbage too, but at least they had a good game against the Commanders last week. The Cowboys are 3.5-point favorites. I said the Cowboys are going to win this game no matter what, no matter who got in there and played, they're gonna win this game because they're playing the Giants. The Giants are terrible. Maybe Dexter Lawrence makes things interesting and gets a couple sacks or something and makes the game a little bit closer than what it's supposed to be. But Cowboys are gonna win this game, and it's gonna be ugly. I don't know what the score is gonna be. I wouldn't be surprised if this score was 11-8. I don't even know how you get 11-8. But it's gonna be an ugly game all the way around. We got to watch Tracy. We got to watch Thomas Tracy, Tyrone Tracy, and Rico Dowdle run the ball. That's what we got to look forward to. We got to watch Cooper Rush and Tommy DeVito throw the ball. Definitely worst Thanksgiving game on Thanksgiving. Probably worst game of the week, and I ain't gonna lie. And it just happens to be on Thanksgiving. Quay, what's your thoughts about Giants versus Cowboys?
Man, these teams can't beat Boise State right now. It's just two terrible rosters at the moment. Two organizations that struggling. GM was terrible. No structure, no direction. Paying people, they don't mind paying.
Facts.
They have top contracts out, and they're not planning on winning. The Cowboys don't care. They're going to be talked about. They're the most televised team, so they're going to be on these big games for no reason the rest of the season. Dak is out. I think the Cowboys should just, hang it up, but they've already done that. This game is going to be 6-3, 9-3. No excitement. I don't think any touchdowns will be made. If they do, it's going to be. Is CD playing?
Yeah, CD will be playing.
Maybe they find a way to get in the ball. So let's go 10-3.
Yeah, man. No.
Terrible game. No exciting things at all. And then it's gonna be weird. Watch the game be good because it's all backups. So
the backup bowl.
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys 10-3.
Yeah, this the backup bowl. Tommy DeVito versus Cooper Rush. Nothing to look forward to. PJ, what you think about this game, man? Cowboys and Giants, premier game of Thanksgiving.
This might be the worst Thanksgiving game in the history. Both teams are garbage. They worse than what we are, but we garbage too. I don't really think nothing about it, man. Cowboys need to go in there and win the game. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lose against the Giants. That's the one. That's the one team whose organization is really like way worse than ours. And so I don't see us losing against them. I got a prediction though. I think our kicker is gonna score way more points. He's gonna score. Our kicker gonna score 16 points.
Yeah, I was about to say I think he's good for 5 to 6 field goals. Y'all might win 18-10.
Yeah, he gonna. No, how many? 16. Yeah, it's about 6. Yeah, 6 field goals. He gonna score about 4 to 6 field goals in this game. So he's gonna score way more points than what our offense is actually going to. I don't think we're gonna get into the end zone. I don't think they're gonna get into the end zone. It's just a terrible game to have to watch, and I'm mad. I don't really have to watch the game, but you know how it is on Thanksgiving. You just sit around and you watch football, so it's going to be on the television, so I'm going to have to look at this terrible game. Just two terrible products that's going to be on the field. I just don't. I didn't even know Drew Lock was still in the league.
Me either. I thought he was rapping or something.
Why is Tommy DeVito questionable? He get hurt in practice or something?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's a terrible game. I got the Cowboys coming out with the dub, though.
Yeah, Cowboys, we all agree Cowboys are going to win this game. It's crazy they're only 3.5-point favorite because they're playing the Giants. The Giants are probably a touchdown underdog in every single game they got the rest of the season because they are the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, I can say that with confidence that they are the worst team in the NFL. And we got teams like the Raiders and the Patriots out there. And I think the Raiders and the Patriots are both better than New York. So the Giants are the worst team in the league. But Cowboys will get something to cheer for. They'll be 5-7, and they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And this will be their first – when they win this game, this will be the only game in the entire calendar year of 2024 that they won at home. At the end of the season last year, they lost every home game, including the playoffs. And so far in this year, they're 0-5 at home. So this will be their first win at home that the Cowboys fans will get to see, the ones that are purchasing tickets, in the entire calendar year. Go ahead.
Cooper Rush know how to win.
He'll find a way to win it some type of janky way, and Cowboys will win this game 3.5 points. They'll probably win by maybe a couple field goals just because, Giants terrible. Last game on the slate for tomorrow. The game I'm just praying and hoping that'll give us some type of excitement and be an actual good game is the Dolphins versus the Packers. Dolphins are 5-6. They've been terrible so far this year. Not terrible. They're 5-6. They're around 500. A chance to get to 500, and they still have a chance to get that last wild card in the AFC away from the Denver Broncos. Denver right now looking like they'll get that last wild card spot, but Miami's right there to try to get it. They're playing against the Packers, who I think the Packers are a really good team. Jordan Love has struggled a couple of games, but when he's on, I think they're a tough team to beat. Josh Jacobs, top 3 in rushing yards so far this season. He's been playing great so far. I like the way that the offense is ran. I like the job Matt LaFleur does. And this is a game to see. Pretty much, this is a game to see can Mike McDaniels coach. This is the Thursday night game. This is the night game in Thanksgiving. Can you come out here and make something happen playing against Green Bay? I got Green Bay winning in this game mostly because they're playing at home, and it's going to be cold in Green Bay. And I think Tua has lost every game under like 60 degrees that he's played in. So this is probably going to be another one on the tally. Quay, what you think about this one? Dolphins versus Green Bay to end off Thanksgiving night.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna take the Dolphins actually.
I ain't mad at that.
It is gonna be cold, but I just think Green Bay been kind of getting off script lately. They've been playing weird, but they are the better coach team. Mike McDaniels got to leave the vapes alone or whatever he does. Whatever he does when he gets off,
the
he got to leave
alone.
it alone. I don't know. He never doesn't look like he banged. He never looks like
he look like he got a slight stench.
Yeah, like he doesn't, man, just flip his shirt to the other side and go about his day. But I'm gonna take the Dolphins. Just going out on a limb. Kind of want to see a good game, but I think Green Bay is better than them, to be honest.
No, they're definitely better than them, and I'm just hoping. I'm hoping for a good game at this point because the first two are going to be so bad that I'm just really hoping the night game can end up being a good game. And like you said, the Packers, they're more talented than them. They're better than them. Jordan Love hadn't played the greatest. I don't like the fact that they struggled against the Bears and won that game 20-19, a game that they should have blew them out, honestly. But that ended up being a close game. PJ, well, what's your thoughts about the last game of the night, Green Bay versus Miami?
I'm not really excited about this game either, man. It's just gonna be a terrible Thursday. I just gotta look forward to Saturday, to be honest, when Texas
for real.
play. I got the Packers, bro. It's gonna be 27 degrees down there in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and it gets really, really cold up there. That 27, not the 27 in Texas.
Oh no,
it's
not even close.
It's 27 degrees, like it's crazy. Like I done been to Milwaukee. I ain't never been to Green Bay because Green Bay is just totally out the way when you go to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I done been to Milwaukee and Minnesota, and both those states right there are just, or Wisconsin and Minnesota, both of them states are just cold. Not even a word.
Yeah, it's a different type of cold out there.
Yeah, it's a different type of pain. It's like a sharp cold to hit you up there. I really don't think the Dolphins are going to win up there tomorrow. I don't know if it's snowing up there or not, or if it's just going to be just, a dry 27 degrees. But, I got the Packers coming out with the dub. The Dolphins, they could make this a game. But until Tua retires, I'm not really sold on them. To me, he's like I hate to bring up old news, but he's just a risk every time he touches the field. And I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're going to win, man.
He can't play in the cold for sure. We know that. He can't play in the cold. And that you was right. That 27 out there, that's not 27 in Texas or 27 anywhere else. And it's a whole lot colder than Miami is right now that y'all been practicing in. So it's going to be a completely different ball game when y'all get out there. With it being 27 degrees, I already picked Green Bay, but I definitely got to stick with Green Bay now. I mean, that's too cold. Them boys don't want to get hit like that out there. Tyreek Hill don't want to get hit in 27-degree weather. Jaden Waddle don't want to get hit in 27-degree weather. Tua don't need to get hit in no degree weather. So I mean, it don't. I'm hoping it's a good game. Like I said, I'm hoping for the best that we get a good game to close out Thursday night. But if we don't, like you said, PJ, we got a lot to look forward to this weekend on Saturday with the great college slate that we got of games coming up this weekend. It's rivalry week in college football, so we'll get a good end to the week, even if these Thursday games are shaky. Folks, we're out of time here today on Centex Primetime. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today. I want to thank Quay and PJ for joining on here with me. Also want to thank Wayne Walker, came on here earlier with us in hour number 1. We will be back on Friday. We're coming back for a special edition, Black Friday edition of Centex Primetime. We'll be back in action. I'll try to get some more of the guys to call in. We'll talk about some of these games on Thursday and preview these college games and the rest of the NFL slate games on Sunday. Some more on Friday. So I want to wish everybody a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Everybody drive safe. I-35 is already super backed up. So you'll be sitting in traffic. Make sure you got a good playlist going. And definitely make sure you talk to your loved ones tomorrow. A lot to be thankful for on this Thanksgiving. Want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving once again. And we will see you guys on Friday. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.